right. Are you about to be in a long distance relationship and you're wondering whether or not they last? Well, there are so many things that you can do to make sure that your relationship can sustain distance and still stay strong and healthy and bonded. Hi, I'm Stephanie Cook. I'm a licensed Gottman Couples Therapist, and I'm also the founder and director of Couples Counseling ATL in Georgia. And I'd like to start with a story. There was a couple that I worked with a little while ago, and they were really a wreck. Like, they were so just frustrated with each other, about to end their relationship because distance just felt impossible. They had started out their relationship really in love, and they were just all about each other and thought, we're a great couple. We don't have many problems. Distance is not going to be a problem for us. And unfortunately, when they really met the reality of being far apart from each other, they started to struggle. She started saying things like, hey, I've been trying to reach you. Where are you? And started to have some anxious thoughts around, why is he not returning my calls as quickly? And why is he not scheduling as many, phone dates and things? And her mind was really running wild with anxiety. And then she started making some, not so nice accusations about why her partner might not be responding as quickly, including, are you more interested in your coworkers? Do you love me anymore? I mean, understandable, but very, very negative sort of thoughts filling her head. And it was coming out as like criticism, right? And her partner was really offended, like personally offended by these accusations, and was starting to really escalate these fights too with counter, criticisms. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I took this job for us, for our future. I'm trying to make money. And they were really just not only offended about the accusations that were being made, but also just felt, less desiring of calling back. Like, I don't want to call you if you're just going to accuse me of these things. And so it started a really negative feedback cycle where the few times that they would talk every week, it used to be every day, then it started to be every week, but the few times that they would talk, it resulted in arguments. And there were so many things that hadn't yet been resolved, and resentments and hurts, that it was really making their relationship less fun, less about, all the conversation and affection and physical touch that used to be really great part of the relationship when they lived in person. And once they started being distant and living in distance, they were feeling not only the physical distance, but the emotional distance and disconnect, and the arguments were not helping. And even though they were pretty good communicators at work, and actually that was one of their strengths, they found that in their relationship, they were really struggling with, what do I say to you? I don't even know what to say to you anymore. Their relationships were starting to feel really awkward. And even though conversation used to flow really well when they lived together in person, when they started being far apart from each other, they found it way less comfortable. And they were just clueless and really just struggling to understand what had happened to their relationship. So at the urging of a friend, one of them finally reached out to me for couples therapy, and we began working on not only repairing some of the damage that had been done, but on creating a new foundation for the relationship so that they could be successful with distance. And they really needed to learn some better communication, to learn how to repair the damage, to share what's they're struggling with in a non-critical, non-defensive way, and also how to kind of keep that bond alive through some really regular, routine, scheduled check-ins in the morning, at night, whether it's through text or phone calls or FaceTime. They both had to agree what was going to work for their relationship so that they could maintain those sorts of rituals that would make them feel connected. One of them kind of struggled with the thought of this being too formulaic and structured, but once they committed to it and tried it for a week, they had to admit that this actually kind of helps. Like, I feel closer to you. When we talk about the stupid little things in our day, like what I ate for lunch, but also the bigger things like what's going on in the world and politics and with my work, they were able to really start to feel closer to each other. And they were also less likely, when they did start to have some arguments, they just had a lot of good times and good conversations to where the fights didn't really go off the handle as much. And thankfully, they were able to recommit to each other. and decide kind of with expectations, how long do we want for this distance to be? Because they hadn't really talked about that in the beginning. And so that was another thing that I really recommend that you can also do, is to talk about how long is this distance going to be? Are we going to only do this for a year and maybe work towards a down payment? How are we going to celebrate at the end of this? And also, more importantly, on a day-to-day, weekly basis, how are we going to maintain some rituals for connection so that we still continue to enjoy each other and that we don't lose sight of why we're doing this and that you're the most important person to me? Because sometimes with distance, you can really start to feel like less of a priority to your partner and vice versa. So to recap, if you're about to be in a long distance relationship, or if you're already in a long distance relationship, it might be really helpful to revisit, why are we doing this? When is this going to end? How do we maintain really healthy lines of communication? And if you struggle with defensiveness and criticism, or how to have more fun and play in a long distance relationship, couples therapy can really help. So reach out to us, counselingatl.com, schedule a free consult with a therapist of your choice. And if you have any other questions, please reach out to us and let us know. Thanks so much, and good luck with your long distance relationship.